My heart goes out to all the Israeli mothers and fathers who have lost their innocent children during this challenging moment. My heart equally goes out to all of the Palestinian mothers and fathers who have lost their innocent children during this difficult time. My prayers are with you. My love and compassion is with you. No words will do justice and suffice during a moment like this. Words are limited to express and touch into the heartbreak and pain that you must feel. As a parent and father myself, I can't even imagine what you are going through and what you are dealing with during this time. But know that my prayers and the prayers of the world are with you and the souls of your children. My stand is for love. I am on the side of love. Media, governments want to divide us, but I choose to stand on the side of love, on the side of compassion, on the side of kindness. Because the truth is, we are one human family. We are one humanity. We are one race, the human race, and we are all souls. I have had the privilege of traveling around the world to 60 plus countries. I've been to Israel 8 to 9 times. And what I have found in traveling from the poorest slums in Mumbai to the highest, most expensive homes in Bel Air is ultimately, as human beings, we are all one people. Doesn't matter if you're a billionaire or you're broke and homeless, black, white, green, orange, Chinese, we all bleed the same. What color is your soul? And the truth is, as human beings, we all have the same fears, the same concerns. We want safety and security for our loved ones, our children. We want to grow up in a peaceful, safe environment. As human beings, we are actually, I believe in my heart, more alike and similar than we are different. And sadly, during this time, media, governments, politicians want to divide us as a humanity. Because united we will rise. And if we come together as a human race, a human family, one family standing together as one with an intention on compassion and loving, we cannot be broken. We will, as a humanity, be dangerous and we will affect change. But when we are divided, we can be conquered and controlled. So let us remember during this time that we are souls. We are souls that have incarnated on planet Earth, and I don't know about you, but what color is your soul? Is there a Chinese soul, a black soul, a white soul, Christian, Catholic soul? We are just souls, journeying and evolving through this human experience, having a human experience. And so I know that during this time, it can be very overwhelming and difficult. But I believe unless we have a spiritual evolution, awakening on planet Earth, where we wake up out of the trance of believing that we are separate human beings, where we have become so conditioned to identify, we've become hypnotized to identify ourselves as this limited mind-body mechanism, and we've become seduced to believe that we are separate from each other. Unless we remember the inherent oneness of our being and true nature as spiritual beings, sadly, there will be no peace, because when we are over-identified with ego, that which we perceive ourselves to be, we have this illusion that we are separate. But when we wake up to the truth that we are one, you are me and I am you and we are we, how can I hurt you? Because you are myself. You are more than just my brother or sister. You are myself. And so my message today is a message of love, a message of unity, a message of compassion, and a message of oneness. Let us remember that we are one. We live in a world where the last few years we had an experience called the pandemic, and when this happened, somehow as a humanity we came together. Somehow, regardless of what you believe, as a humanity we locked down. The whole world went into one mode because we were committed. What if we were truly committed to peace? What if as a humanity we were truly committed to loving? Are we really committed to loving, and what would that look like? And as we go through this very overwhelming time on planet Earth where emotions are activated, sensitivities are understandably touched and triggered, it's understandable that maybe you may not know what to do or feel helpless. What can you do? There's a few things. I leave you with these thoughts and potential actions. Number one, lead with love and lead with kindness. Don't just get caught up in identity and sides. When you're on the side of love, you lead with kindness no matter what. So reach out to those in your life, your Jewish friends, your Palestinian friends, and anyone that you feel or sense might be going through a difficult moment. Reach out and just check in. Check in, offer your heart, offer your listening, just checking in to let someone know that you're there and that you care. Number two, many times in moments of conflict, when we take sides, we see someone as the other, as the enemy. This doesn't bring peace. This only brings more division. And often as human beings, we tend to only associate with people in our lives that believe what we believe, voted for who we voted for, think how we think. And all this does is, again, create more separation. And so during this time, I invite you to be the change. Let us be the change that we wish to see on planet Earth, and reach out to people also that don't believe what you believe. Reach out to people that you actually disagree with, and rather than hold on to your identity and position, dare to be courageous and loving and practice curiosity, practice listening, practice seeking to understand. Unless we as a humanity, you see, love is not agreement. Peace is not the absence of conflict, and doesn't mean we all have to agree. Peace is the willingness to listen, the willingness to communicate, the willingness to understand. Because if I can understand your perspective and your beliefs and how you and what led you to believing what you currently believe, if I can understand that, then I can at least empathize and maybe have compassion. Because the truth is, if I grew up how you grew up, I might believe what you believed. And so there can be no peace without listening and genuine understanding and seeking solutions. We must be willing. And so during this time, lead with love, lead with kindness, lead with humility. Let us practice listening and understanding. And during this time, I really believe that the world that we see is really, on some level, a mirror manifestation of the totality of all of our consciousness combined. There really is no world out there, even though it looks like there's a world out there. The world out there is a projection of all of our consciousness combined as a humanity. And so if we really want to be a part of the solution, it's easy to look at what's happening in the conflicts and feel helpless, or just go into judgment and point fingers at this leader and that leader. But we must ask ourselves, if the world that we see is a reflection and the world that we see is a mirror, what does it reflect to us about ourselves? What does it reflect to me about me? And while we may not be able to change the prime minister and the president of this nation and that nation, we can change ourselves. We have the power to bring peace on the planet by changing ourselves, by taking responsibility and asking ourselves, where am I at war within myself? Where am I hating myself? Where do I drop bombs of self-hatred and terrorize myself constantly with meanness and judgment? Where am I divided in my own consciousness? Ultimately, if we want peace on the planet, we must begin with ourselves. And sometimes, and I've been there, we want peace on the planet, but we will harbor the grudge or the judgment that's petty, or even it's justified towards our brother, our mother. We won't even call up our sister and say, hey, I forgive you. And so let us be the change that we wish to see in the world, by bringing peace to ourselves and by living kindness with those around us. If you enjoyed today's short video blog, share it with your friends and those in your life that you love. Subscribe to the link below.